Alright, this is Hot Glue Gun. We're going to get into the vehicle information. So here we have our vehicle repair stations. There will be a vehicle repair station located at your main. You are able to build vehicle repair stations at your Ford operating base. In order to do that, we press T for our radio menu, deployables, tech structures, and vehicle repair station is in there. These are critical to the success of a vehicle fighting operation. And it's also important to note that if you do choose to build vehicle repair stations around the map, that you do need to have enough supply, enough ammo and construction to repair your vehicles. Again, we have our mock-ups of the vehicle armor. The US and Russian vehicles are all laid out here. And this just lets us know where the best place is to place our shots in order to disable or destroy these vehicles as quickly as possible. So we'll start with the left-hand side here, and I'm only going to go over vehicles that require Crewman kit. So anything like the MAT-V, the MRAPs, the Tiger, the Russian Tiger, we're not getting into those because I feel like they're self-explanatory. You don't need a Crewman kit to drive them, so we're only going to talk about the ones that require Crewman. So we'll start with the US. This is the Abrams, the main battle tank of the US. It requires 2 crewmen, just like pretty much every other heavy vehicle that you'll use. Next down the line, we have the Bradley IFV, or Infantry Fighting Vehicle. The US only has 1 IFV, whereas the Russians have 2. And we have the US APCs, the Strikers. The Russians have a few more APCs as well. Continuing down, this is where you get into your MAT-Vs and things like that we're not going to get into. Going down the Russian side, we have the Russian main battle tank, the T-72. Again, operate with 2 crewmen, same as pretty much any other heavy vehicle. The first Russian infantry fighting vehicle, the BMP. Then continuing on, we have the BTR-82. This is the second Russian IFV. We have the first Russian APC, the BTR-80, and then we have 2 more Russian APCs as well. And we're going to be going over some basic vehicle operations, tracking a vehicle, repairing a vehicle, and where to shoot, things like that. Alright, so I've got some vehicles out here set up at the range. I've got American Abrams out there facing away from me to demonstrate shooting on the backside, trying to cook off the ammo compartment. We've got an enemy Russian BMP out there, so that's an infantry fighting vehicle. We have just a regular US MAT-V, and we have a US Logi. So I also have the American IFV parked here, the Bradley, and we're going to go ahead and hop in and take some shots. Now, as I mentioned previously in the first video, you do have to have a crewman kit in order to operate this vehicle as far as driving or shooting the gun. So I'm going to go ahead and pop into the turret using F2. We're going to check out the armaments that we have on the Bradley. So our one key is going to be our AP. That's what we're going to want to use against vehicles or enemy radios. 2 is going to be our HE. That's anti-personnel, anti-infantry. Use that on soft targets. 3 is just going to be our coax. Again, that's anti-infantry. And 4 is going to be our TOW, our anti-tank guided missile. This is what you're going to want to use on the heavy ones like the tanks or another IFV or APC. So we'll go ahead and take a shot and demonstrate what we can do to the rear of an Abrams. Keep in mind when you're engaging a vehicle, if you can surprise it, you always want to have the element of surprise if possible, and you always want to try to get behind it. That's where they're most vulnerable. That's where they are the least armored. On here you can kind of see this is the Abrams ammo rack, so we're going to go ahead and pop a TOW in there and see if we can't get that ammo to cook off to see what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot and get it out there. Nothing. We hit it, but we did not cook the ammo off. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it with a couple shots of the AP. the armor piercing and see if we can't get that ammo to cook off properly. There it goes. We did something. I don't think we got the ammo to cook off, but we certainly popped the engine. So that one's pretty damaged. He's going to be immobilized. We'll go ahead and move over to the next vehicle to demonstrate how to track. It's pretty self-explanatory. You shoot the vehicle in the tracks, and it will become destroyed. So we'll pop it a few times with the armor piercing, and you'll see the track pop. Alright, so now all he's going to be able to do in that BMP is make a right-hand or left-hand turn, unless he has a crewman hop out and repair. It's going to be pretty dangerous for them to try and repair, especially with a Bradley sitting on him or any infantry nearby. He's probably not getting out there. He's probably going to get blown up. Next vehicle over, we have our MAT-V, so light armor vehicle with just the exposed 50. These can be taken out quite simply with a coax. You can pop the tires pretty quickly. Took a few shots. It'll take a few less from just one shot actually from the armor piercing. And then we can even go ahead and pop the engine with the coax. So the coax does a lot against light armor vehicles. There's really no reason to waste your armor piercing against them, or a tow for that matter. Just take them out with the coax. Try to take out the tires, pop the engine. You'll immobilize them and they'll be dead quick. And moving on, we have the Logi. This one, obviously, it's a quick kill. And again, this vehicle has no armor, so you can just simply fire some into the engine block and they'll be immobilized. We can take out the tires really easily and they won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Go ahead and switch back over to our tow, see if we can destroy one of these. We'll take a shot on the BMP and see what kind of damage we can do. After we reload, of course. Nothing. Alright, well, we hit it. On to the next. So I'm going to hop out of the Bradley and grab the US Heavy Anti-Tank Kit, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do with that. So that's going to be under the Specialist role, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the one with the sight, because why not? Alright. So, the Heavy Anti-Tank Kit has 2 rockets, at least on the US side, that you will be using. You have your heat round, your high explosive anti-tank, and then you have a tandem round, which is going to be your big heavy round. That's going to inflict the most damage, the tandem. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the tandem in, and we'll shoot it and see if we can get any kind of damage on the BMP. Just going to aim center mass. Actually going to crouch down to stabilize a bit and take my shot. Didn't do much. Switch to our heat, and we'll take a shot at the MAT-V. See if we can't wipe this thing off the map. That probably hurt him pretty good. Alright, so there are just a couple quick ways to demonstrate damage on enemy vehicles. Now I'm going to switch back to the Crewman kit and show some repairing. So I'm going to pop into the lead crewman, and we'll go out here and fix up this BMP. I've gone ahead and hopped inside the BMP just to check out the damage that we did. I hit it with, I believe, 1 tow, several AP rounds to pop the track, and 1 tandem, and we barely hurt it. Keep in mind that in the training range, the damage inflicted to vehicles is not the same as you will experience in a live game. These vehicles take less damage, so it takes more to destroy them on the training range. But you can see from left to right we have our the 3 rounds in the fire. That is our ammo compartment. That shows me that our ammo compartment is in full health, so no issues there shooting our cannon. Next to that is our turret health, so if that is damaged, you'll experience a more difficult time turning or rotating the turret. Your turret camera might get cracked, your optics make it very difficult to see. Then you have your pitch and roll, that's self-explanatory. Our engine block, as the engine block becomes damaged, it becomes more difficult to drive, eventually popping the engine and becoming undrivable. And then we have our tracks all the way to the right, which is currently damaged because half our track is damaged. So, as I was saying earlier, if a tracked vehicle is tracked, all you're basically going to be able to do is some sweet donuts because you're going to be going in one direction in circles. So, in order to fix that, once we've determined that our area is safe, you can have a crewman hop out, and typically what you want to do is keep someone in the turret and then have your driver or another crewman hop out and make repairs. And we do that simply by getting our repair kit and tightening the bolts with the socket wrench will somehow magically fix the track. Alright, and our track is back, looking good. Now you can hop back in and go on your way. And we are good to maneuver. Full range of motion.